Hey guys, it's Caitlin. So in this week's video, we have a massive book haul. I have been away this month primarily because it's a really busy month for me. I graduated. I have exams starting tomorrow. Yes, I know that's a weird way to say those, but that's the order. My birthday was June 5th, and within this month, within grad, my birthday, all these things, I have got gifted a lot of books, and I have also bought a lot of books. So we're gonna call this the birthday grad book haul. So I'm really excited. We have I think like 12 or 13 books to get through. So let's just get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start off with books that I got for my birthday because we're gonna go in timeline order of when I got all the books. I want to start off with saying first I did get a Kindle for my birthday, so that obviously counts as a ton of books. I got Kindle Unlimited as well, so here she is. I have so far read 2 books on my Kindle this month. You can see the one I'm reading right now, but I wanted to include this just because it is a really big milestone, I feel like, as a reader, to get a Kindle and fully submerge yourself in the book world. So I did get a Raspberry Kindle. I thought I'd mention that. Alright, so the first book I got a little bit before my birthday, just because at my local bookstore, Indigo, on your birth month, books are 20% off, and that is The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon, I believe. Can we talk about how freaking gorgeous this book is? Like, hello. I'm not entirely sure what this book was about. I remember searching up just like really good, unpopular or not as popular as others fantasy books, and this was one of the top ones that came up. It says, the fate of 2 bitter enemies are swept together in the Hurricane Wars, the spellbinding debut in a fantasy romance trilogy set in a Southeast Asia inspired world ravaged by storms. So it's about a girl named Taliesin and a prince named Alaric, and that's really honestly all I know. But I thought it was really, really pretty and gorgeous, and I just had to pick it up. So that is the first book. I'm really excited about this next book because my grandma has been holding on to it for me for months because she got it right as the book came out, and she decided to make it part of my birthday gift, and that is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. I am so excited to get back in the world of Peyton and Kai, and I've seen spoilers, so I know what happens, but it's okay. This is the last book in the Powerless trilogy, if you did not know. Can we talk about the cover art? My grandma didn't even know it, and she got like a special edition from Walmart, so I was really excited about that. But basically, if you didn't know what this book is about, I'll describe the plotline of the first one. Basically, there's a world where if you don't have magic, like they like send you out, like they shun you from the country into the desert, and Peyton is our main character, and she doesn't possess magic, but she's able to trick them into thinking she does. One day she accidentally saves the prince of the land, whose father is the one who condoned everyone who didn't have magic out of the country, and they sign her up for these trials she must compete in to see who has like the strongest magic, and she doesn't have any. That's kind of the plot line. It's kind of a love triangle, not really though, and I eat every one of Lauren Roberts' books up. So this is the last one, and I'm really freaking excited about it. The next book, one of my best friends, Tatum, got me, and that is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Once again, absolutely gorgeous cover. I've heard this book is one of like the saddest books you'll ever read, and I like to have a couple sad options on my shelf at all times. I've been really wanting this book recently. It's basically, it says it's the setting is World War II, and it's set at like the woman's time of war, so you follow the 2 characters, they're sisters, and it says, separated by years and experience, by ideals, passions, and circumstances, each embarking on her own dangerous path toward survival, love, and freedom in German-occupied, war-torn France. And I don't know, it just sounds amazing, and I need to see what all the hype is about. Tatum also got me another book I'm really, of course, excited about, and that is Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I am like one of Sarah J. Maas's biggest fans within the Throne of Glass series anyways. I am on the tandem read. I'm about halfway through the tandem read right now, and I really want to get into Sarah J. Maas's other series. Like, I plan to read ACOTAR next and then Crescent City, and this was on my list of books I wanted, and she got me it, and I'm really excited because I plan to own all of Sarah J. Maas's books by like the end of next year. I want to be finished them all. So I'm really happy about this. So thank you to Tatum for those 2 books, and also my grandma for Fearless. All right, these next 4 books are from one of my other best friends named Aaliyah. So the first book she got me was The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I have been hearing stuff about Mariana Zapata's books for years about how the slow burn is just done so well, and I love myself a good sports romance. So this book is basically about Vanessa. She was essentially like the assistant housekeeper and fairy godmother to top defensive end in the National Football Organization. And his name is Aiden Graves, and she quits. She says she's done. Her life is not just going to be being this man's assistant, but then he shows up her door wanting her to come back, and she's beyond shocked. So it says, for 2 years, the man she's known as the Wall of Winnipeg couldn't find it in him to tell her good morning or congratulate her on her birthday. Now he's asking for the unthinkable. And that just sounds really good to me. So I'm really, really happy Aaliyah got me this book. Also, do we see Thor sleeping? He's literally been sleeping in our little blanket basket for like 4 hours now. I apologize if the angle switch, my storage went out. But the next 3 books I got from Aaliyah, I was so excited about. Count how many times I can say that in a video. It's been one of my most anticipated reads of the last couple months, and that is the entire Divergent trilogy. I have been wanting these books for like months. I had mentioned it to Aaliyah, and she ended up finding, basically, if you couldn't tell, brand new thrifted copies for me, and I thought that was amazing. So if you didn't know, the first book is called Divergent, and it's basically about this girl named Beatrice. She is part of like a dystopian world in which there are 5 factions. Her and her family are in the Abnegation Factor, which is basically like they put everyone before themselves. They run the government. They're like the healers of the dystopian world, not in a magical way though. And when they become 16, they have like a choosing ceremony, and basically they get to choose if they want to stay in their faction or switch to another faction. Beatrice ends up switching to the Dauntless faction, which they're like the government and like the military of the dystopian country world they're in, and you basically get to see her go along with that and her experience. I've already read this one, and I rated it 5 stars. So I got Divergent. I believe this is the reading order. The second one would be Insurgent, I believe. Can we talk about like how gorgeous these are though? And like the insides, like hello, that is gorgeous. I love that color. And then the third one, if I have the right reading order, is Allegiant. Now that I'm thinking it, I don't know if that's right, but like these are very gorgeous, and I'm so incredibly appreciative. So thank you to Aaliyah. Okay, so the next 3 books I got with gift cards from my friend Jessie, and then also I got from my parents for grad gifts actually. So we're gonna get into those next. Okay, so the first book I got with gift cards, it was Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I know, if you have watched my channel before, this isn't necessarily my normal genre of books. However, I was doing a book project in my academic English class, and we had to search up books alike the one we had read for English class, and this one intrigued me. So this one says it's about Alex Stern. She's kind of thrown her life away. She's dating like drug addict boyfriends. She's living on the streets, and then she's also, one day multiple homicide happens, and she is the only survivor. So she wakes up and she's in the hospital, and there's a mysterious man sitting beside her, and he's like, I will turn your life around. I will get you a full ride scholarship to Yale University if you can like investigate the different secret societies within Yale. And so she's like, okay, that's kind of weird, but okay. And then apparently like there's some weird things going on with the secret society. Alex ends up finding out, and there's like some occult activities, and it really was giving me like dark academia, like If We Were Villains type vibes, and I loved If We Were Villains. So I got this book, and I'm really happy and excited about it. I have read Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and I kind of liked it, but this is a different genre, so I feel like I'm gonna really like that book. This next book I have only ever heard positive about, and it has persuaded me to get it, and that was Beartown by Fredrik Backman. I feel like Fredrik Backman's books are really taking off right now. So I was like, I have to pick it up. I have to see what the hype is about. If you didn't know, where I live, hockey is basically everything. Like every Tuesday we're at the rinks watching the hockey games, and it's a big part of my life, honestly, not personally, but like within where I live. I literally graduated in a hockey arena. Anyways, this book says it's about like Beartown. It's like this town that it's like finished, like nothing's really happening. However, they do have a hockey team that might, like a junior hockey team that might make it big and like actually win for a year. So lots of the pressure to like save the town is on this hockey team, and you get to see that. And then it says it also follows a girl, something that happens to her in the semifinal match is the catalyst for a violent event that leaves a young girl traumatized and a town in turmoil. I'm not sure how they connect, but this book just sounds really good to me, and I figured it would be a good start to reading Fredrik Backman books, so I'm really excited. You guys already briefly saw this next book on my Kindle, as it is my current read, and that is Never by Jessa Hastings. I watch Kendall Reads on YouTube. She's one of my favorite booktubers, and she had read this book in one of her book vlogs. She'd said she like picked it up from like a discount bookstore for literally $2 and never like thought she was gonna read it. And then she picked it up, and I'm pretty sure she ended up rating it either like 4.5 or 5 stars. And I did some research, and I finally found it in Indigo, because like I could not find this book in stock on Amazon or in any of my local bookstores, and so I picked it up. It's basically it's heavily related around Peter Pan. So it's like Wendy from Peter Pan. It's her granddaughter, and her granddaughter has always known like Peter Pan's gonna come to her when she's 12 years old, except he shows up when she's 17 and Peter Pan's also 17, like growing up for some reason. From what I've gathered, he takes her to Neverland, and she kind of starts falling for him, but then she also meets Captain Hook's son and starts falling for him too, and I believe it's kind of like a love triangle, and I've heard it's really sad. That sounds amazing to me. Peter Pan, it was one of my favorite childhood Disney movies growing up. I know it is very controversial, and I do not agree with the racist topics within Peter Pan, but as a young child, I always loved watching Peter Pan aside from those factors, and that is why this is my current read, because I just have to read it right now. Fear not, we have 2 books left. You can like literally see the stack of books here. The next book is by Navessa Allen, Lights Out. This book was really popular on Book Talk about a year ago, I believe, and it's known as like a funny dark romance, which I feel like is good for me, because I really wish I was a dark romance girly, but I'm not necessarily. It grosses me out a little bit. But it literally says on the front, the couple who slays together stays together. So from what I've gathered, I did start the audiobook a little while ago, but didn't end up wanting to audiobook it. I wanted to read it. From what I've gathered, it's about a trauma nurse named Allie who... It's about a trauma nurse named Allie who enjoys watching this like motorcycle biker on TikTok, and he does like thirst traps and stuff, and then she sends him a drunken text, and then he gets this, his name is Josh, and he gets this drunken text, and then he says this one follower has caught his eye, Allie. That says, together, Allie and Josh live out their darkest fantasies, unaware that Allie has captured the attention of someone with far more sinister intentions. As Josh turns from predator to protector, he must ask himself how far he'll go for the woman he's obsessed with. So I'm pretty sure it's like a stalker romance, and it sounds silly. It honestly sounds kind of stupid to me, but I feel like it will be the kind of like book that I'll need if I just need a laugh. So we picked that one up. And then the last one my grandma got me at the same time that I got Beartown Never and Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I had just walked past it and said, oh, I really want to get that book eventually, but not today. And my grandma was like, I'll get it for you. And I was like, no. And she did. And that is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong, I believe. This is clearly also not my normal genre of books, but I really want to get into more literature books going into being an English teacher major in university in August. And I started reading it. I'm about on page 18, but it's the kind of book you have to read with other books on the go. I feel like it is very short. It's basically, just from what I've figured out so far in 18 pages, about this boy. It's his like almost like by autobiography of his life, very heavily related around his mother and how his mother affected him throughout life. And that's kind of all I want to say. Just go into it blind like I wanted to. And I'm really excited to get through this and kind of see where the story goes. So that is the last book in the book haul. And that concludes, I'm sorry, that is my doorbell. And that concludes our massive book haul. This is the biggest book haul I've had since Christmas, and I really hope you guys enjoy the haul. I will definitely make sure to vlog lots of these books. I've just been busy. Obviously, haven't really filmed this last month very much, especially book vlogs, because I've just been trying to really soak in my last month of high school and prioritizing schoolwork and exams. Literally today as I film this was my last day of high school. I have 4 exams and they start tomorrow. So if you made it to this part of the video, please wish me luck on my exams. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I can't wait to make some fun reading vlogs with these books as I start summer on Thursday. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!